Hey, it's Ben from the Strength Factory, and if you actually want to get fitter and faster in 2025 instead of just talking about it, then keep on watching because I've got 6 training tips that are going to help you do just that. You may have noticed in the intro there that I used the word actually get fitter and faster in 2025 because I'm making this in January, but whenever you're watching this, it's you just need to have a little think about, have you actually managed to make progress in the past? Are you fitter and faster and stronger now than you were a year ago, or has it got worse? You know, stuff happens. I'm not getting at you. I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of talk at this time of year about I'm going to do this, I'm going to be fitter, I'm going to be faster, but then does it actually happen? Often it doesn't, even with the best intention. So I'm going to help you to fix that today with these 6 training tips. We're going to start at the start, okay? And that is tip number 1, is let's have a think about this. You're planning a journey on your phone, you've got Google Maps out, because you use Apple Maps, and what are the 2 pieces of information that you need to put in there? You need to put your destination, which is the bit you're already thinking about. You're already thinking about the race or the holiday or being fitter, but the bit that everyone always forgets, you've got to put your current location into Google Maps, because without that you can't plan the journey. So that's the first thing to do. If you actually want to be fitter this year, then you need to understand where you're at and where you want to be, because the distance between the two and the gap is what you need to fill with your training and your plan that you're going to make to actually be a better rider this year instead of just talking about it. So you can use testing, you can get on the on Zwift or a watt bike and do tests. You can use Strava and go up a hill. You can use Strava or timing and go down a hill. You can just do it more subjectively, i.e. at the moment 20k kills me, okay, and I want to be able to do 30k. Whatever it is, make an appreciation of where you're at, because then that's going to help you plan the journey for where you want to go. Tip 2 is identify the gaps, okay, and more importantly, your gaps. And it ties in with number 1 when you've got that appreciation of where you're at. And I'm just going to start with a little example. Over the years, I've been on Downtime podcast quite a few times. Maybe that's how you found this channel. If you haven't, I'll put some links to some of the episodes down below. They're well worth a listen. Anyway, people often ask me things like, what should I do more of in the week? Strength training or aerobic base miles or intervals or whatever it is. Okay, now, the answer always is, it depends. So if you are a big strapping lad and you're super strong, but actually you struggle to ride all day, then your gap is in your aerobic based fitness and your endurance. So that's where you should probably put more of your effort. Similarly, for that lean, sinewy racing snake who can actually ride all day and they never have to eat or drink anything, that rider probably needs, guess what, to get stronger and focus some time, especially in the winter months away from the season, on getting stronger and being more robust. And those are 2 extreme examples, but you're going to find yourself somewhere in that range. Maybe you're an all-rounder and that's fine, in which case do a bit of everything. But identify the gaps. What are you worse at than either your friends you ride with, or what are you worse at when you go racing? Where are your weaknesses? And this can include skill work as well, because look, it's all very well having great legs and being strong if you don't have any skills or the basic foundation of a mountain bike position. Before we hit number 3, I just want to let you know about MTB Momentum. It's my weekly email newsletter, but it's not just another boring newsletter. It's probably going to be the best email you get on a Tuesday. Every week we get training tips, advice, motivation, sometimes funny stuff, sometimes about my riding. We talk about the World Cups. Sometimes there's some good discounts in there for training programs and with some of my partners I'm lucky enough to work with. So if that sounds good to you, and it should, then get yourself down in the description, drop your details in there and join MTB Momentum today. Tip 3, it's time to get organised and it's time to make a plan, because without that, you're just aimlessly wandering off trying to somehow magically get fitter. And look, this could be as simple or as complicated as you like, but I would suggest simple is the best way. So you can get a pen and paper, you can get a paper diary, you can do a spreadsheet, you can use an app, okay, it really doesn't matter. But what you want to do is map out very roughly the time from now to maybe there's a goal event or just the summer, or just map out the next few months if there isn't a specific goal you're working towards. And yeah, let's think, what are the things I'm going to aim on? What are the gaps I'm going to fill? Okay, and what are the sort of activities I want to be doing consistently and regularly each week? And that's the basis of a plan. Now, when you do that plan, don't forget to include things like rest and recovery, and also life happens. So if if you know you've got a family wedding or a holiday or this or that, put that in the plan, and then you can allow for it rather than suddenly getting there and being like, oh no, the plan's gone wrong, I can't do it. Okay, so make a plan, keep it simple, and it will guide you through your training journey. Tip 4 is to identify key dates, events, or milestones that you're going to hit on the way as part of that plan. Okay, so it could be, you know, if you're training for an enduro race and it's a 2-day event, so it could be, well, there's going to be 2 weekends in the build up over the next few months. I'm going to identify where I'm going to ride big back-to-back days, either on your normal trails, or ideally you're going to go away somewhere, maybe make a trip of it with some friends, and you're going to do big days back-to-back on demanding trails just like the race. Okay, so the training is specific, it's fun, it's something to keep you motivated for rather than just the distant goal. And yeah, you get that in the plan to aim for. You know, there's lots of different things you can put in there. There's like race simulations and things like that, big days on your own or with someone else, or even just, you know, testing. So if you tested at the start of this process to figure out where you're at, you know, you got on a watt bike or you went and got your lactate test done, whatever you did, then get those retests in the diary as well as part of your plan, because hitting those along the way is going to keep you motivated, and it's also going to give you a good idea as well if things aren't going to plan, if the numbers aren't going up, if you're not getting fitter and faster, then that's when you need to stop and change something rather than waiting until you get to the actual event and realizing that, you know, you haven't been effective in your training. Tip 5, and this is a good one because all the others have actually just been about the big picture. I haven't really talked about what to do on your bike or in the gym or anything like that, but this one is really good. It's ride with faster riders. Okay, it's simple as that. Riding with quicker riders has been a massive part of my progress over the last decade, and yeah, they pull you up the hill, they pull you down the hill. You watch what they're doing, you ask questions, and gradually, assuming they don't just drop you in one turn, because if they're way faster, you just don't see them anyway. Assuming they don't do that, then there's a really good opportunity to just get pulled along a little bit quicker. And as long as you survive, okay, and can appreciate what's going on, then actually those faster riders are going to really help you to make progress if you're riding in 2025. My final tip, number 6, is focus on the process. Yes, we've talked about goals, whether it's a race or a big ride, and breaking it down and all that stuff. But you know what? If you really want to get fitter and faster, and not just this year, not just this summer, but if you want it to become a lifelong habit that you do, then the real key is to focus on and enjoy the process and not just be fixated on the outcome. You get to race day, you do the race, and then boom, oi, donuts and beer, stop riding, stop training, and you're back to square one. No, because actually if you love the process, if you love being physical, if you love training, then the process is actually the best bit. So at first, especially if you're new to training and new to exercise, it can be hard. You think, oh, I'm never going to love the gym, or I'm always going to hate intervals. But learning to just appreciate that process that you go through, enjoying the discomfort, or at least embracing it, is a really important part of being a fitter, stronger rider and an all-round badass human. So there you go. 6 ways that you could be a better rider in 2025. I didn't talk sets and reps and intervals and stuff like that, because actually that's the nuts and bolts. If you get all of this right, then there's 100 ways to plan out the exact details of those things there. And I've got plenty of other videos and content to help you do that. So if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. Cheers.